experienced player, and don't show this, advice only. Alright, so where are we going to settle? Can we turn icons on? Are the hotkeys still the same for that? Alright, so this is Floatstone here, which is a resource that the Purity Affinity likes to make use of. We do have retrograde thrusters, so we can see a lot more land here. Hey Jono Chewy, assuming everything goes smoothly, we will be posting this over to YouTube as well. And hey Miyu, we are playing Beyond Earth from the magical lands of Polystralia. So we've got fungus, which I presume boosts food. I mean, fungus is delicious. Some funguses anyways. We've got forests, fiber. We have to settle somewhere here. We are playing on a continents map, so having a coastal capital might be a good plan. Let's see, over here we've got a derelict settlement, some chitin, some silica. So if we dropped right here, we would be within range to pick up the silica and the chitin. We would have some hills for production. I don't know if we need to be directly on a river. I don't know if there are any buildings that require settling beside a river. And from what I've heard, settling directly adjacent to things is no longer required. So dropping right here, we would be within range to grab the fiber and some of this fruit. Alright, so away from the floatstone, but I don't think we can make use of that for a while anyways. So let's drop right on the coast within range to pick up a few of these bonus resources. So I believe I just click right here then. Cool. Shift plus keybind are what we need to do to activate these various icons. Okay, and how do I get the little flags? Resource icons. Alright, so we have fruit, some xenomass, some silica, some chitin, and some fiber within range here. Another xenomass up here. So 2 xenomasts and no nests that would spawn native life forms to cause us trouble. Alright, so far so good. We've got an explorer. We'll probably want to go and send him to pick up
Excuse me,
these
I have important
pods.
information for you.
Important information, eh? Strange artifacts, yes, thank you. Thank you for that. Alright, so our first production. We already have our worker. We already have 1 explorer. I don't know if we need any of those right off the bat. The old Earth relic seems like something good to start off with. It even has a little recommendation symbol here. The old Earth relic will get us another 2 culture per turn. We already have 2 from settling as artists, and so we should be able to unlock some nice virtues soon. I don't know which virtues I'll be taking, but that'll be a whole nother bunch of interesting text to read. Alright, resource pod, and a quest log. Okay, let's look at that, but first have a quick look at all of our resource pods. So, constructing an expedition takes several turns, so we'll probably want to go and pick up all the resource pods first, and then maybe swing back to dig this up, or build out a second explorer to pick that up. But first, the quest log. So, we've got Promised Land, Contact, Discover the Progenitor Signal. I think that's for the Science Victory, or the First Contact Victory, which I think is essentially the Science Victory. Research, Transgenics, Swarm Intelligence, and Nano Robotics. Alright, so these, all of our current quests are each of the victory conditions, and they're just telling us what we need to do that. So Transcendence requires 3 key techs, Contact requires the first step is the Progenitor Signal, Domination, conquering everyone, Emancipation, Emancipation and Promised Land both require us to launch a satellite as the first step in that quest. So those are all the victories, and we don't currently have any quests. Okay, good to know. Just getting used to the interface here, and we can hide this thing. We may as well show trade routes. That sounds useful. We don't need guild icons, artifact icons. That'll be nice. Alright, now our first tech, what do we want here? Physics gets us a ranger, which is a military unit with a range attack. The observatory, which boosts our science and gives us additional science for Firaxite. We haven't seen any Firaxite yet. And a launch complex, which increases our orbital coverage, which means we can place satellites more distantly from our cities, and so that's not going to be too relevant too soon. Chemistry, and the laboratory gets us a science boost, a production boost, reveals petroleum, which I believe is primarily used for launching satellites, and a petroleum well. Genetics, increased health, which is the new happiness mechanic that limits our growth. And, okay, so also health boosting stuff here. So genetics, we probably don't need that extra health right away, although we will want to expand fairly soon. Here we have different things for, oh, there's more food from Vivarium. Miasmic Repulsor, for getting rid of that fog that hurts our units. And the ultrasonic fence. So I think we have a bit of a safety net before the aliens start getting hostile, so we can hold off on ecology. Our other option here is to go and grab engineering for the combat rover, which is a Malay unit that has a little more movement. We've got a thorium reactor for energy, a repair facility for bonus production to land units, and we also reveal titanium. So it looks like chemistry would be the best, or one of these leads off of habitation. So pioneering, we could have started with that if we wanted to. This allows us to build colonists, so we can't train colonists right off the bat, trade convoys, trade vessels, and trade depots. We don't have anyone to trade with right now, so definitely chemistry first, and then we'll make a whole step of decisions afterwards. So right now that's going to be 32 turns away. As we get more science, I'm sure that'll speed up. Now as for this worker, he can make a generator that gets us +2 energy. Construct a road, we don't need those. +1 food. Alright, so +2 energy, that's considerable. At least in Civ terms. Having an improvement that'll give you +2 gold right off the bat, that's not something we're used to from Civ 5. Well, let's see what these yields look like. What tile is my citizen going to be working? At the beginning, I'm going to want to be working food. So yeah, let's go and put a generator on this tile. Actually, we should have gone and put that over to this tile since it already has an energy yield of 1. Alright, we'll move them over next turn. Small mistakes are to be expected. That's the whole point. Alright, and we already have a new AI neighbor. And he's fairly nearby.
The temple doors of the Protectorate are open.
Kavaitha Thakur of the Kavaithan Protectorate. Alright, let's see what sort of things we can discuss right off the bat. I assume that's going to be something that will anger them, as in Civ 5. We could propose cooperation right off the bat. Sure, let's see what she has to say about that. We haven't known each other for long enough. Standard Civ 5 diplomacy. Alright, so goodbye. We'll deal with you a little more later.
You have finished construction on a unit which can launch into orbit. To launch it, select the unit and click its Action button. Once launched, it will have an area effect on the tiles beneath it until it de-orbits.
Cool. So we got a solar collector, which is a satellite which we can launch into the orbital layer. No, I'll find the orbital unit. Okay, so until it's launched, it's just a unit like any other sitting on the main map. Thank you, Mr. Clippy. And
you have a new quest available. Throughout the game, your actions will trigger different quests that can unlock bonuses for your people. Open the quest log to see what's available to you, and check back often.
Thank you, Clippy. Alright, let's see. What are our new quests here? Gifts from home. Find 2 resource pods. 1 found. Awesome. So we do that regardless of what the reward was. And let's see. The solar collector gives us +1 energy for the tiles that it covers, and any cities that are within its coverage range get a boost of 20% energy. Alright, so ready to launch. Let's see, how do we do this? Launch orbital mode. And
this is the orbital view. It displays the effect areas of units that are in orbit. Effect areas cannot overlap, so it is useful to plan launches ahead of time. This view also shows your launch coverage area. An orbital unit must be launched over a tile with coverage. Coverage can be extended by constructing city buildings.
let me know how Clippy's voice volume compares to my own, because if he's really quiet, there's no point in me letting him talk and sit quietly while he finishes his little spiel. But where do we want to drop this? Definitely somewhere where the city is within range of the solar collector, but we don't need to drop it right on top of the city. We are eventually going to expand out. Let's turn the yields back on again. Alright, so what tiles would we want to work with our citizens? Probably the chitin or the fibers. The fibers actually look really good. If we can expand out to the fibers, which means I'll probably want to drop my solar collector here, because we're going to go and expand in that direction. Well, can I escape the orbital there? What direction am I going to be expanding to culturally, naturally? Over to the silica. Well, that's not so exciting. Where would we expand next? Based on the cost, we're going to expand to the chitin next. Alright, so these 2 tiles are next. So if I wanted to take advantage of the solar collector right away, I would probably go and drop that over here. But I think I really do want to expand over to the fibrous fiber plants and go along the river. So let's go and drop that satellite right over here. And we'll go and fix our previous mistake and move over here and pop a generator in over there. And so yeah, that'll give us a really nice energy yield. And I don't believe you can lock it. Oh, you can lock citizens. Well, anyways, we'll reset that and we'll see how the default governor does. And obviously that is the best tile, so we'll leave that be. And as for this guy, we're gonna go and head over towards this next, what are these called again? Colony pods, expedition pods, goodie pods, resource pods. Alright, energy is like gold. Energy can be used to rush buy things, buy tiles. And over to that resource pod. Alright, so things are looking nice. We've got a whole bunch of aliens wandering around, which I imagine would be a pretty scary sight if you land on another planet and you have no idea what the natives are going to do. And if we wanted, we could take a shot at this guy right here. What is he anyways? A wolf beetle. Well, let's see if the wolf beetle takes our worker, then it'll be no holds barred war with the natives. But if they can just wander around peacefully, we can just leave them be. And let's go grab that resource pod. Collection of goods and luxuries from old Earth, your people never thought they would see again. These rally and refocus your people, providing 20 culture. Awesome. And it gives us the virtue screen right away, unlike in Civ when you pop a goodie hat, it doesn't give you the message until the next turn. Alright, what do we want here? We've got might, prosperity, knowledge, and industry. If we follow the wisdom from Civ 5, we probably want to open something, well, normally it'd be getting things like the free worker, the free colonist, i.e. the old liberty tree. But the only reason we always went Liberty first in Civ 5 was because the science tree wasn't available. Now, plus 10% science when healthy. Currently our science is paltry. What are we? 9 science per turn? 3 science per turn. So opening knowledge for the 10% booster isn't really going to help us there. Earn 3% when finishing expeditions, or 30 science base, not percent. That also doesn't sound terribly impressive. I mean, it would be enough to get us a third of the way through chemistry, but the techs will continue to increase in cost, so that doesn't sound like so big of a bonus either. Alright, so let's not go knowledge. At least the first 3 don't give us that much of a boost at the beginning. We got industry, 10% production towards the buildings. We are going to be building a lot of buildings off the bat, so that's not bad. A food bonus, we do want to grow our cities. Extra experience from combat. I don't know what to make of these aliens yet, so I think we're going to hold off on getting aggressive. We can go into might later, but we'll probably go down to prosperity, grab another worker, and a food bonus here. 10% food. If it's 10% total food, that's amazing, but from what I've read, it's only 10% growth, which is just the excess food after your citizens consume their requisite amounts. Nonetheless, 10% food is still just fine. Hey Moonshine, I do not have any sort of early access. I am just living in Polystralia or something like that. Alright, and we're gonna go and head over. There was one more colony pod, a resource pod. Over this way, we have to pass through some miasma. But otherwise we're fine. That wolf beetle can just sit there, and there's nothing else we need to take care of right now. Alright, and so another faction has landed. Samatar.
African people greet you.
Jame Bare of the African Union. Okay, well, I don't, based on our interactions with Kavatha, I don't think there's anything we can do with him, but it's good to know where he is. Where is that exactly? Is that right down in the corner? I actually have no idea. Oh, okay, so he's way down here. So he's much more distant from us, quite possibly on another continent as well, but good to know. Alright, and that's it. How are we coming on that generator? We are 3 turns out, and we got a new citizen. He's been placed over here for food. I don't have enough energy to buy any new tiles, so I guess it's fine that he continues to work that. I do want the next citizen, growth in 6 turns. Everything seems to be in order. And over to the next resource pod. Alright, so we completed that last quest. Gifts from home gave us a bonus of 5 science. And this resource pod gave us 40 energy. Nice. Still not enough to buy any relevant tiles. And, ooh, looks like we might have some problems here. So there's a nest, an alien nest, right here. Let's see if we can get the mouse over yet. Xenomass alien nest, and aliens everywhere, including someone who looks a little bigger. What is this guy? Can I click on him or get any information on him? Not with a worker, but with my explorer, perhaps. This is a manticore, who has apparently a range strength of 10. That's pretty scary. We'll leave them be. So it's my understanding that if we play peacefully with the aliens and have a nest within our own territory, we can eventually get them to be friendly with us, which would be pretty useful if I don't want to have to fight them. But let's see if they cause any trouble for our workers while we're just waiting around. Okay, gifts from home complete. Vector, quest log, aliens detected near Freeland, and a nest discovered. Alright, well, how is our quest doing? Which of these toggles are quests? Found an outpost. Yes, we can definitely do that. We'll need pioneering next, so let's queue that up. I assume we can queue that with the shift key as in Civ 5, and that is indeed the case. And do we have any movement left? No. Alright, next turn. Alright, so we have enough dust now that we could buy out some of these tiles if we wanted to. We could buy out the chitin, or we could buy our way towards, let's see, that does, well, it's the same amount of food and science rather than 2 energy. I would like to get over to this tile. This tile does have a total of 4 yields, one of them being production rather than energy, so that might be nice, but probably not worth spending 65 energy and then who knows how much for the next tile over. Alright, so we could keep exploring, or we could head over to this derelict settlement and dig that up for some bonus yields. Let's save that for another one of our explorers. We'll keep on exploring here. Let's go and explore over towards, let's see, what's this girl's name again?
Namaste.
Cabitha. We'll go see what Cabitha's up to. And I do want to see what the territory around this floatstone looks like, because that might be a good spot to settle our second city, claim this area before Cabitha does, and these fissures are impassable terrain, at least until you get hover technology. And the craters and mountains are also impassable. I'm not sure if hovering lets you get over those, we'll find out soon enough, but currently we do have a natural border between ourselves and Cabitha. And yeah, we'll hold off on shooting the aliens. Hopefully we can remain peaceful with them. And I do have some dropped frames here. And we had this happen before, and it's nothing to do with my end, it's all to do on Twitch's end. So hopefully you guys can bear with me here. I hope it's not affecting things too badly. And if it is, maybe after an hour I'll switch over to YouTube Live, and I'll leave one of my moderators to direct people over to YouTube Live. Because yeah, we're at 10% dropped frames, which is definitely not good. Alright, so our unit needs orders. Oh yeah, this is a whole line of impassable terrain right to the north here. Cool. And our workers finally finished that generator. Alright, where do we want the next generator? We could put a mine over on this hill, or we could finish the generator here, which might be a little dangerous given all of these aliens wandering around. Where are my citizens currently working? The silica and this spot here. Let's finish this generator, and we'll see exactly how aggressive the aliens are. We are here to learn after all. And yeah, we can probably turn the yields off for now. Some people do find that a little clutter-y. That's not a word, but I'm sure you know what I mean. Although, if the chat prefers seeing the yield icons on, it does definitely teach us a lot more about the varied terrain that is all very new to us. Alright, so what do we have here? Quest log, updated. A new quest, occupational hazard. The indigenous species of this planet pose a threat to our growth. We cannot determine their intelligence, but their hostility has been documented. Moving forward, we must decide how to deal with them. Do we want to domesticate the local wildlife or exterminate it? So, is that a choice, or is that just something that happens? Okay, we can develop a virtue. Do I want another worker? Right now, okay, our population is growing faster than we can improve tiles, so we would definitely make use of another worker here. Let's grab the worker unit here. And did Clippy give us another message? Oh well, couldn't have been that important. Alright, so do we want to improve this tile? It does have food. I don't know if I want to work high production tiles right off the bat. What I really want to do though is buy some of these river tiles, which give me a lot of energy right away. So that'll cost me 65. I'm assuming this is a forest, right? Yes, it is a forest. We can chop that. I'm assuming we don't need a tech for that. Alright, let's head over that way. And yeah, we'll start chopping that down and then we'll buy the tile. It'll give us a nice yield and we'll put either a generator or a farm on that. Okay, here's our quest decision. We can domesticate the wildlife, which gives us... I'm not sure if that gives us points in harmony and supremacy or just fits with that rule. But yeah, I'm all for harmony or supremacy at the moment. Domesticate the wildlife. And chemistry is going to be done in 12 turns now. Maybe we should start getting some more science rolling, because I do want to get a new colony going soon. We do have a quest for that, and that does require that we unlock pioneering. I am happy with the improvements that the worker we started with is giving us, but starting with pioneering might not be a bad choice either. Alright, so the third faction to land on our new planet. Baoming So Chu of the Pan-Asian Cooperative. Alright, nice to meet you, and goodbye. Alright, do I want to put a mine on this? That gets me +2 production, or do I want to get over here and start chopping this forest? Let's start chopping that forest. Alright, that seems fine. Alright, so if you guys can let me know what the stream quality is like, on my end, on OBS, we have 15% dropped frames, which is kind of really bad. It's all on Twitch's end. We did resolve this 2 days ago, so hopefully Twitch will behave from now on. Alright, so we finished our old Earth relic. Now we're pumping 5 culture per turn, and we unlock the next virtue in 6 turns, so that's nice. Choose production. We can't work on a colonist yet, because we don't have pioneering. I think we have enough workers. We could pop out another explorer to go check out this derelict settlement. Seems like a good plan to me. We've got plenty of health still going, although we should get that clinic online probably right after we pump out a colonist. I don't know if we need a soldier. So far, the alien wildlife has been fairly friendly, or at least neutral. Let's go work on that explorer then. And we are up to 3 citizens. We're working these tiles. We are about to finish this generator, presumably. 2 turns, and then I don't know if it's safe to send the worker over to the silica. Alright, so chopping this forest will get us 13 production. If this was within our territory, so 65. Alright, so not the best use of energy, but we want to know if the forest chopping mechanics are the same as in Civ 5. So 13 production for chopping a forest outside of our territory. Purchase the plot, and 20 production for chopping a forest within our territory. So it's the same as Civ 5, and we will do exactly that. Let's go chop the forest. Okay, so chopping the forest or building a generator take the same amount of time, and the forest will be removed and still give us the production. Okay, so let's just do the generator then. That's interesting that they take the same amount of time, have the same effect. Alright, generator it is. And we'll keep on exploring this way. Alien nest is... oh, alien nests everywhere. That's... I don't know if that's going to be good or bad. But for the whole plan of getting these aliens peaceful with us, we will want to buy this nest into our territory. That is a prerequisite for becoming peaceful with the aliens. And that'll cost us 55, which we can do next turn, so we may as well get that timer going as well. Freelance at 3 citizens. Cool. Alright, let's go and explore over towards Cavitha. So much floatstone. Huh. Alright, so we've got an impassable mountain range here, a choke point here, and then a crevice that can possibly be floated over with higher tech units, and then a choke point here. So, settling a city somewhere over here will protect the rest of this land, although I don't know how easy it will be for us to defend it. I am liking the rivers. The rivers provide extra energy, as they used to provide gold pre-Brave New World. So settling here looks pretty juicy. I mean, all that floatstone, we've got, what is this, tubers, that's bonus food, some gold, some basalt. Yeah, we could settle a city over here. I don't know if that's close enough to make Cavitha angry, but that's something we'll find out with more playthroughs, and perhaps violently in this playthrough. Aliens detected near Freeland. Well, our whole plan here is not to attack them. We have finished that generator, awesome. We're working these tiles. Okay, so we can head over to the chitin then. I think it's a little too dangerous to be improving the silica, but we will buy out the nest. And hopefully this will go a long way towards making the aliens friendly with us. And no movement penalties for crossing rivers. Cool. Chemistry an 8. We could, oh, so many aliens. And we're standing in miasma. So miasma does 10% or 10 hit points worth of damage. And all of our units have, let's see, can we check that? I assume it's the same as Gods and Kings in Brave New World, that they all have 100 hit points. Alright, so let's construct a paddock here. That gets us 1 production. I don't know if it gets us any other bonuses. Perhaps with further technologies we increase the yields from paddocks. Aliens near Freeland, yes. Alright, and more aliens over here. So this is looking like a really nice city location. One difference I do know from Civ 5 to Beyond Earth is that settling on resources destroys them rather than hooking them up right away. So we don't want to settle directly on the tubers. If we want to go coastal, let's turn the grid on. 1, 2, 3. The fungus will be out of range. So if we instead we settled right here, we would have the fungus and a lot more floatstone within range, but we wouldn't be able to do any naval trade routes, which might be okay. Hey Prophet Josh, we are playing the full release build. And there's some copper. I'm not entirely sure what copper does for us, but I believe that it does let us build certain special buildings later on in the tech tree. So there's lots of nice resources over to the north here. Then again, we don't want to settle too aggressively on the AI. I'm sure she'll get pretty mad if we do. Alright, well, we may as well get some good vision on this territory.
Strange nearby. It could be a ruin, some sort of wreckage, or perhaps alien in nature. You should order your explorer to the site and excavate it to see if there is something worthwhile to be found.
Thanks, Clippy. This derelict settlement is apparently some sort of mysterious artifact. Yeah, we could definitely go dig that up. I do want to scout out a route to Cavitha's capital, though, since from what I gathered from Mad Jin's streams, trade is very powerful. I don't know what the range is, but it'll be good to have that option at the very least. So we'll go say hello and then swing back and pick up that derelict settlement. We do have a quest decision here. How we remember. Our relic has provoked an ideological split among our citizens. Some believe the old Earth relic is instrumental as a source of solace for the grief people feel over their lost world. They want it left in reverent peace as a shrine. Others think it represents a valuable repository of traditional wisdom that must be studied and displayed publicly if humanity is to embrace their new home. So, if we leave the old Earth relic untouched, all relics are maintenance free, or if we open it to the public, we get more culture. I think our energy needs are just fine at the moment, so I'd rather have the culture. I am liking these virtues. I don't know exactly how powerful they are, but that's what we're going to find out in this game. So +1 culture from relics. Each of our colonies can build an old Earth relic, presumably, so like the monument in Civ 5. Quest complete. Aliens near Freeland. Yes, we know. Alright, let's see if F9 opens a demographic screen for us. Now that's the quest log. We'll go through all of the trade routes. Is F10. F11 is quick save. Hopefully it doesn't do any quick loading for us. That would just mess us up. Alright, quest log. Notification log is F7. F6 is the tech web. F5 is the virtue screen. F4 is diplomacy. F3 is summary of military overview. F2 is the economic overview, and F1 is the civilopedia. Let's see, let's poke around in here. Game menu, no, that's not what we want. Civilopedia. Diplomacy, virtues, covert ops, upgrade units, quest and victories. Quests and victories? No, that's not going to do it for us. Alright, so I don't know where or if there is a traditional demographics score overview. But if someone in the chat knows, we'll go and check that out later. Alright, so let's go and... wait, what's this? This is a soldier, so they're not going to be digging up those ruins. We can scout forward a little more and try to get vision on a clear path to the capital, and then we'll swing back and dig that up. Alright, and we have another virtue to develop. We could, so there is a kicker for completing the first step of the prosperity tree, and that gets us another 10% growth. 10% food, 10% growth. Maybe this one affects total food and this one only affects excess food. So 10% growth doesn't sound like the greatest bonus, but getting the free colonists, and that's even before pioneering, might be just what we want. So that means we need to grab homesteading. To get us over towards the colony initiative. What's our current science at? We are at 5 per turn. Yeah, I'm not going to go for the plus 10%. We'll leave knowledge for now. Industry could be useful, but let's get over towards the colony initiative then. Because we're going to get that free colonist before we finish pioneering. Alright, so does this count as a path to their capital? Probably not. We do need to get a little closer then. Standing on this hill should get us enough vision. Yes, so now they also have a solar collector up. We're going to go and put a little expedition on that derelict settlement, and then we'll continue exploring. Now, how is the explorer that I was building over in Freeland doing? He's 2 turns off. So far, the aliens still have been very friendly. So that's all worked out just fine. Okay, now let's get over there before KP beats us to it. Freeland's now at 4 citizens. Let's see, what tiles are we working now? Another river food tile. Let's actually lock these down. Yeah, we can have a little less food, so that's growth in 15 versus growth in 11. Yeah, I'm happy to get a little more energy and production in exchange. The aliens are like barbs, except that they have
4 billion-year-old world's worth of resources, shared among a handful of people. We're gonna make a fortune here.
Alright, so we've got chemistry, which we can build that laboratory. 2 science doesn't sound like a lot, but at this stage where we're just pumping that 6 science per turn, that's still a considerable boost. The recycler ups our production, and then we also reveal petroleum. Cool. Alright, so let's build that laboratory then. Although, more production, we're not in a rush to finish pioneering because we're going to get the free colonist off of our virtue. So let's build the recycler, and then we'll probably work on the lab next. Okay, this explorer is going to go and check out this site. Alright, so what was I saying about barbs? Right, so the aliens are like barbs in that they're a faction that wander around and potentially make trouble for you. They also have these alien settlements or camps, or what are these even called? Alien nests that will spawn when you're not looking. Or also when you're looking. I think we might have had vision on that other xenomass when that alien nest spawned. But siege worms also spawn. I know, or I have heard that they spawn where you're not looking. Alright, so let's go and build that expedition. But unlike the barbarians in Civ 5, the aliens have some sort of a global collective consciousness. So if you or the other factions that have landed on this planet start making them mad by attacking them, they'll generally get more angry. And they'll eventually recognize you as a distinct faction if you get their nest into your territory and don't attack them. And then they'll realize that you're different from these other human factions, and while they might get mad at the other faction on this planet, they can remain friendly with you. So there is like a little mini game, a little AI diplomacy thing going on with the aliens there, but they do share many similarities with barbarians. Alright, so we can put a mine up here. A generator would give us +2. A mine would give us +2. A farm +1. Alright, let's diversify a little. We have enough generators. We could use a mine in case we need to squeeze something out a little faster. And what's happening over here? 7 turns off from a generator. Surely it's been more than 3 turns since we started that generator. So maybe just the message that we were given was incorrect, and it doesn't, in fact, take into account the time required to chop the forest as well. Alright, so over here, we'll go and dig that up. Get a nice boost from that. We do have some more energy. We could buy up some more tiles. Let's see. Well, we don't have the workers to improve anything else, so I'm not in a rush to buy out anything else right now. We do have a quest decision. Choose a station to charter. Several new ventures wish to establish their operation near our territory. They provide different services that may be useful to us. Red Sun provides 4 energy to any city that establishes a trade route, and Church of Dawn's Light provides 1 food and 3 culture. We are going for the culture game here. What's my current energy at? +11 per turn. My culture's at +6. +4 culture does sound a lot better than, or +3 culture and 1 food does sound better than 4 energy. So I will approve Church of Dawn's Light.
You have discovered a station. You can establish trade routes with stations to receive various supplies that your people may need.
Alright, thanks Clippy. And that's actually really nearby. And I wonder if our trade routes are increased if we send something by sea rather than by land. But in either case, it is within a safe distance of our capital, so long as the alien wildlife stay friendly. Let's see now. When we finish pioneering, we'll be able to pump out either a trade vessel or a trade convoy. So we won't have to worry about that for a little bit. And so far, there are only 4 factions that have landed on this planet. And we are playing with 8 factions on a standard size map, I do believe. So that means 4 more factions are going to be landing. And this continent might get a lot more crowded. Alright, so nothing else to decide on this turn. Let's quickly review our quests again. Found an outpost and build an alien preserve. Alright, so the alien preserve does require a tech, and that is probably alien preserve. In alien life forms, a leaf off of genetics, so we're not going to be completing that quest anytime soon. The alien preserve anyways.
Your explorer has discovered something wonderful. There are many more sites like this to investigate around the world, so you might want to consider building additional explorers to send to these locations.
Venez, mettez-vous à l'aise. Franco-Iberia vous accueille
Alright,
chaleureusement.
we've met Elodie of Franco-Iberia. And did she land somewhere close to us? We got 30 culture off of that derelict settlement. That was right beside Cabitha there, so her loss. And thank you, Clippy. And where did Franco-Iberia land? Le Cour. Possibly on the other continent, maybe connected by some land over here. And we have another virtue to develop. We can go and get the free colonist. I don't know if these colonists will need to be escorted though. And if they do need to be escorted, I don't have anyone to do that right now. But we might learn this the hard way. So, our free colonist. Let's see. The colonists, do they even have hit points, or do they get insta-killed, captured, like they did in Civ 5? Alright, if some sort of escorting is necessary, let's bring this guy back. He is out of expedition modules, which you can recharge by going to a new city. So he'll need to head back to Freeland anyways. And let's just hope. We've noticed that you've been hunting for salvage and artifacts near our territory. This needs to stop. Alright, so she noticed. Yeah, we meant no offense. Let's try to play nice with her for now. She is an Apollo level AI, so I assume she'll have a nice army that could make a lot of trouble for us. Don't tell me that's another faction. Oh man, that's not good. We've got a really close neighbor here. General Vadim Kozlov of the Slavic Federation. Yes, welcome fellow traveler. I hope you don't lands I currently own. Yes, this could be trouble for us. And what's this? An outpost recommendation spot, one over here too. If we settle too far towards KP, I mean, we would be picking up a lot of nice resources, including the copper. We would claim all of this floatstone, but it could also be asking for a world of trouble. Alright, so we're about to find out if the aliens insta-kill our settlers. I really hope they don't. Well, we certainly can't walk through them. This could be really bad. Alright, cross your fingers, guys. Expedition complete. We've discovered some refugees. Oh man, they were just hiding out in that little pod for years? Oh well, new population for our city. Let's try not to think too much about that. And onto the mine, that ups our production. Awesome. And with the solar collector, we do have some pretty nice yields there too. And we did naturally go and expand towards the fibers. Alright, if I wanted to spend some of this energy, I could buy up some more of these river tiles. Don't know if that's strictly necessary. Why did I send my colonist next to the nest? Most likely foolishness. But we have been next to the nest for one turn. So I have also heard that the aliens do like to protect their nests. So if you sit beside them for too long, it is asking for trouble. But I mean, I really want to get through here. Alright, let's go one more. This could be really bad. Alright, please aliens, I haven't shot at you. I've been nice to you for the entire game, for this entire 26 turns. Surely you can leave a defenseless settler alone. Alright, so we've dug that up. Let's go back home and recharge our expedition modules. Alright, so that mine's done. This generator is done. This guy can head over here and get to work on getting a plantation going for the fiber. Meanwhile, as far as yields go, we do have some good yields that'll be further enhanced by a generator over here. We can't get rid of the miasma yet. And actually, improving the silica does look safe now. Let's get over there. Okay, so far so good. Our colonist is still safe. We'll just move away from that nest and bring the explorer in to hopefully act as a bit of a guard. Now, where exactly do I want to settle this colony? Right here would be out of range of the silica and the fungus. But apart from being able to build a plantation there, I don't think the fungus gets us any special benefits. So settling here would get us within range for the gold. The gold does yield us culture. We would be within range to pick up 3 floatstone. We can ignore all this stuff. Oh yeah, there is petroleum to make note of. So 2 petroleum to the north here. We've got 5 petroleum in the water. But forward settling on Cavitha. We can probably settle somewhere back here. I think that'll be just fine. And maybe something coastal too. Coastal, 1, 2, 3. We still have this floatstone within range, but we would lose out on the 2 floatstone there. Which I think is okay. I mean, the yields on this floatstone is just 1 production at the moment. So yeah, we could settle right here, closer to the gold. We'd eventually grab these tubers and we'd have 2 floatstone and a basalt, plus 7 xenomass. Alright, we definitely have a lot of xenomass, and to recharge our modules we just need to enter the city. Let's go and build out the plantation. And choose production. What do I want here? We just finished the some sort of production boosting building. How do we check that? Freeland. Freeland currently has... What buildings does Freeland have? City buildings. Show. Alright, we got the headquarters, and we built the old earth relic and the recycler. Okay. We're finishing pioneering in 5 turns. After that we'll start pumping out trade units, but in the meantime, if we are about to settle a city, let's get to work on a clinic. We only have 3 health left. Health is the new happiness. So yeah, I think the clinic will do just fine. It's +1 science, +1 health, versus +2 science for the laboratory. I don't think we need that. Although getting our science up is probably important, but we're ignoring it for now. So the aliens have been super friendly with us, which I'm quite pleased about. And we don't have embarkation yet. They are blocking my access to the silica. Let's just go put... Do I want a farm or a generator? Alright, General Vadim Kozlov. We've noticed that you've been hunting for salvage. What? Listen, I extracted that salvage before you even landed. But we meant no offense. Let's try to be friends here. Alright, our unit needs orders. Do we want +2 energy or +1 food? Let's go with the +2 energy. And our explorer has his expedition module recharged. let's go and scout out a path towards, let's see, Karabrost. And then maybe we'll dig up some more artifacts. That won't make Kozlov too happy, but you know, artifacts are good. I want those bonuses. Now, I think we're going to go and settle right here. That will clear the miasma, which is good, and we'll keep... Well, let's explore over this way and see what else we have. We've got some algae, or algae. That makes that water tile a 2 food, 1 energy tile, which isn't terribly exciting. Alright, so we'll settle right here within range of the 2 floatstone, the gold, the xenomass, and with access to the water, and we can also pick up the algae. Ooh, and suddenly these aliens are a little less friendly to us. Alright, let's pull back here. Oh, being in the miasma will just kill us. What are we at? Health hit point wise. Let's get over here. Alright, so hit point wise, how do I check that? Expedition modules is 0, Explorer. I just want to know how many hit points you have left. Alright, well, in any case, let's get ready to settle the city where we planned out. It'll start off as a colony though, and I don't believe colonies have much in the way of defense. So hopefully these aliens will convert to friendliness soon. We've got a quest decision. What goes around? If we are to survive on this planet, we must be conscious of our new ecosystem. Luckily, we've learned from our past mistakes and have already instated a consistency or a consistent recycling policy. The benefits of recycling are already known to us. But what of recycling goods? Low-quality goods can be produced more quickly, thereby reaching more people. On the other hand, high-quality goods are sturdier and can be used for more demanding work, such as food production. In the long run, which will be more beneficial? So we can go for low-quality goods, which increases our worker speed, or high-quality goods, which gives us food from recyclers. So that's at most 1 recycler per city. So that's at most 1 food per city, which doesn't sound very good, but upping our worker speed. I'm going to go with low-quality goods here. I don't know if that's the correct choice, but finishing some of our projects a turn early will definitely be more helpful than 1 extra food per city after we build the recycling center. Alright, worker speed boost, sure. And what else do we need to do here? We're gonna go and... that's not miasma. Alright, so positioning our cursor over the bar while the unit is selected. Still no hit points. Alright, I'm sure we'll figure that out eventually. Quest completed. Still a bunch of aliens running around. Ooh, a siege worm. Siege worms have... I wish we could more easily mouse over their combat ability. 49 combat strength. Yikes. Alright, well, on to the next turn. Hope those siege worms don't make too much trouble for us. And hope we can get these aliens friendly with us. We do have the nest within our territory. We have yet to make any hostile moves against them. Alright, so miasma hurting our colonists here. We can go and found the outpost, and we will, especially with this huge thing right at our doorstep. So, found outpost. What does that do to our health? Nothing yet. Perhaps once it becomes an actual city, it'll start to wear us down. And would I heal faster or be safer within the colony? I don't actually know, so for now, let's just fortify until healed within our quasi-territory there. And 4 hit points. Apparently we need to hover over the bar next to the movement icon. So, move mode. Hover over the bar. Well, still no hit point indicator, but I'm probably missing something super obvious.